Life was simple yet profoundly meaningful, much of which I owe to my father, Adam. I was his only child, his precious daughter, and he treated me as if I were a rare gem. My father wasn't an ordinary man. He was the village schoolteacher, a figure of immense respect and admiration. People turned to him for guidance in a variety of matters: education, family concerns, or even village disputes. He had an innate ability to make everyone feel heard and valued, no matter how difficult the situation was. At school, he was known for his strict yet fair approach. However, at home, he was entirely different: my mentor, my guide, and my closest friend. Despite the long hours he spent teaching, he always made time for me. Each evening, we would sit beneath the mango tree in our yard, where he would share stories from his own life, help me with my studies, or teach me life lessons. I affectionately called him Bara, a name that symbolized respect, love, and unwavering wisdom. He believed that education wasn't confined to textbooks and classrooms alone. Learning is everywhere, he would often say, gesturing to the sky or the gently flowing river nearby. Nature, people, and even the simplest moments of daily life hold valuable lessons. Though I didn't fully grasp it at the time, I now understand that his teachings extended far beyond academic knowledge. He wanted me to grow wise, not just intelligent, and to make choices that would lead to a fulfilling and honorable life. At times, I found his lessons tiring or unnecessary, but deep down, I knew every word, every story, was born out of love. My mother passed away when I was just a young child, too young to understand the full weight of such loss. I only knew that she was gone, and life would never be the same. Her absence left an overwhelming void in our home, a quiet emptiness that seemed to grow heavier with each passing day. In the midst of that emptiness, my father, Adam, stepped forward with relentless determination to become everything I needed. He wasn't merely my father, he became my world. Embracing the roles of both parents, he provided the love and nurturing of a mother while maintaining the guidance and discipline of a father. He would braid my hair each morning, a task he wasn't particularly skilled at, but he tried his best and prepared simple meals with a touch of care and devotion. At night, he would sit with me, reading stories or helping me with schoolwork, even when exhaustion was evident in his eyes. Above all else, my father placed immense value on education. "Miriam," he would often say, "if there's one thing I can give you, it's knowledge. It's the key to a brighter future." He poured his heart into teaching me, not only the subjects in my school books, but the life lessons necessary to navigate the world. Kindness, strength, and belief in oneself. Despite the challenges life presented, Bara ensured that I never felt alone. His presence was my solace, his wisdom my guiding light, and his unwavering love the foundation upon which I built my future. One warm afternoon, as the sun lowered on the horizon, painting the sky with hues of orange, gold, and soft pink, my father and I sat quietly on the porch of our modest home. The air was still, save for the occasional rustling of leaves or the distant chirping of crickets. It was a serene moment, but within me, turmoil brewed. I had just turned 17, and my life seemed to be shifting in ways I couldn't fully understand. My body had begun to change, and along with it came a whirlwind of emotions: confusion, curiosity, and a shyness that made me hesitant to speak with anyone, even Bar. I often found myself lost in thought, wondering if these changes were normal. My friends whispered about their experiences, but their words only deepened my confusion. I longed to ask questions but didn't know how or where to start. It felt as though I was carrying a secret, one that grew heavier with each passing day. That evening, as we sat together, my father's voice broke the stillness. "Miriam," he spoke softly, his tone calm and steady, "there's something important we need to discuss." His words startled me, causing my heart to race. Did he know? Could he sense what I was going through? My cheeks burned with embarrassment, and I quickly averted my gaze. "I've noticed you've been quiet lately," he continued, his voice filled with understanding. "It's okay to feel confused, and it's okay to ask questions. You don't have to figure everything out on your own." I swallowed hard, unsure of how to respond. But in that moment, the warmth in his voice and the kindness in his eyes gave me a sliver of courage. Bara was not there to judge or belittle me. He was there to guide, as he always had been. "Miriam," my father began again, his voice gentle but firm. "You're growing up. You're becoming a young woman. And though I wish your mother were here to guide you through this, it is my responsibility now. I can't pretend these things don't exist. And neither can you. Life is full of choices, and I want you to make yours with confidence and understanding, not fear or confusion." His words resonated deeply within me. For the first time, I realized that this wasn't just a conversation. It was a lesson much greater. It was about Bara wanting to shield me, to equip me with knowledge that would shape my future. Despite my initial discomfort, I began to feel a spark of gratitude. Bara wasn't like the other fathers in the village. He cared enough to have this difficult conversation, even when it meant confronting topics that were uncomfortable. In his quiet strength, I saw the love of a man who understood the complexities of life and wished to prepare his daughter for every challenge that lay ahead. Over the next few days, my father began teaching me about my body in a way that was both respectful and deeply educational. This wasn't a single, awkward conversation, rather, it unfolded naturally through a series of heartfelt discussions that we shared in the quiet moments of our days. First, I felt awkward and out of place. I wasn't accustomed to hearing such intimate topics discussed openly, especially by a man, let alone my father. My cheeks would flush with embarrassment, and I would find myself unable to meet his gaze, focusing instead on the ground or anywhere but him as he spoke. However, Bara had a remarkable way of making even the most uncomfortable subjects feel manageable. His calm, measured tone and the professionalism he carried from his years as a teacher made it easier to listen. He began by explaining the basics, the importance of personal hygiene and how to care for my body as it went through changes. "Your body is a gift, Miriam," he said one evening as we sat under the shade of the large mango tree in our yard. "And like all precious things, it needs care and attention." He spoke about the changes I was experiencing, helping me understand the reasons behind them. "You're growing up, and that means your body is preparing for new stages of life. It's normal, and it happens to every young girl," he explained gently. When he talked about menstruation, he did so with kindness and understanding. "This is a natural process, Miriam," he said, handing me some money to buy the things I needed. "There's nothing to be ashamed of. It's part of who you are. And knowing how to manage it will make you stronger." He demonstrated how to use sanitary products, patiently guiding me through each step so that I wouldn't feel unsure or scared. At one point, I couldn't help but giggle nervously. It all felt so strange and new. But Bara simply smiled and said, "It's okay to laugh, Miriam. These things might seem awkward now, but soon enough, they'll just be a normal part of your life." Beyond the physical aspects, he emphasized the importance of a healthy lifestyle. He taught me about eating nutritious foods, drinking enough water, and staying active. "Your body is your home," he often reminded me. "Take care of it, and it will take care of you." Day by day, the awkwardness began to fade, replaced by a growing sense of gratitude. I realized how fortunate I was to have a father who cared enough to teach me these things. Someone who wanted me to face life's challenges with confidence instead of fear. Bara wasn't just teaching me about my body. He was imparting wisdom that helped me respect and value myself in ways I hadn't understood before. One afternoon, as we sat on the porch watching the sunset behind the hills, Bara introduced a topic I hadn't expected. "Miriam," he said, his voice calm but firm, "there's something else I need to teach you. How to protect yourself." I looked at him, unsure of what he meant. "Protect myself?" I asked hesitantly. "Yes," he said, nodding. "The world can be kind, but it can also be unkind. As you grow older, it's important to know how to keep yourself safe and prevent unwanted pregnancy." He began teaching me simple self-defense techniques, not those that required great strength, but those that relied on quick thinking and confidence. He showed me how to call for help in dangerous situations, how to create distance if someone made me feel uncomfortable, and how to stay alert in unfamiliar places. But perhaps the most important lesson was about boundaries. One evening, as we walked along the dirt path leading to our home, he stopped and turned to face me. "Your body is your own, Miriam," he said, his voice steady and serious. "No one has the right to touch you without your permission. Do you understand?" I nodded, but he repeated it, wanting to ensure I truly grasped the importance of his words. "No one, Miriam, not a friend, not a stranger, not even someone you think you can trust. If something feels wrong, you have the right to say no and to stand your ground." Those lessons became a solid foundation for me, shaping how I saw myself in the world around me. With each passing day, I grew more grateful for a father who loved me enough to prepare me for the challenges ahead. My mother passed away when my father was 45 years old. After her passing, I could sense that he often felt lonely. There were moments when he would sit by himself on the porch or in the living room, staring into the distance with a look of deep thought on his face. It hurt me to see him like that. He had given so much to raising me alone, but I could tell that being without my mother was a heavy burden for him. Out of love and concern, I tried to encourage him to consider remarrying. I thought it might ease his loneliness and give him a new companion to share his life with. "Barera," I would say during our quiet conversations, "you don't have to stay alone forever. You deserve happiness, and you can have it again." But his answer was always the same. "No, Miriam, I'm fine on my own." His voice was always calm yet resolute. I knew he wasn't trying to hurt my feelings, but his sense of loyalty to my mother's memory was strong. I respected his feelings, but I couldn't help but imagine how life might be different if he had someone by his side. I didn't give up, though. I continued to share my thoughts with him, offering gentle encouragement whenever I could. I told him stories of other families in the village, how remarrying brought joy and new beginnings to their lives. Little by little, he began to listen. Eventually, he agreed to meet a kind woman I thought might be a good match for him. The lady was beautiful, both inside and out. She had an easy smile, a warm personality, and a heart full of kindness. It wasn't long before Barera found himself growing fond of her. As time passed, they grew closer. The happiness in his eyes when he spoke about her was something I hadn't seen in years. It filled my heart with joy to see my father smile again. They eventually tied the knot, and it felt like a fresh chapter had been written in all of our lives. Her laughter infused our home with a warmth that had been missing since my mother's passing. Her presence filled the empty spaces that had once felt cold and silent. Barbara loved my father deeply, and in return, I could see that he cherished her with an equal intensity. It was beautiful to witness the two of them creating a new life together. Watching my father find peace and companionship again brought immense joy. This experience taught me a profound lesson. Even after loss and sorrow, happiness has the power to return if we are open to it and embrace the possibilities that life presents. My father's heart had remained resilient, but it became even stronger when shared with love and companionship. I will always hold dear the way love brought healing and joy into our family, reminding me that new beginnings can emerge even in the most unexpected circumstances. Years later, after countless hours of dedication and perseverance, I achieved my lifelong dream of becoming a doctor. It was a milestone I had worked tirelessly for, a testament to the sacrifices, struggles, and invaluable lessons that shaped my path. The moment my name was called at the graduation ceremony, and I stood on the stage holding my diploma tightly, my heart swelled with immense pride and gratitude. My father and my stepmother sat in the front row, beaming with pride. Their eyes glowed with emotion as they watched my journey unfold. My father's eyes sparkled with tears, his smile full of warmth and love as he clapped loudly, his voice shaking slightly with emotion. "You've made me so proud, Miriam," he said. His voice choked with emotion as tears streamed down his face. Those words will forever resonate in my heart. They were more than a reflection of pride. They symbolized the trust, belief, and unwavering support my father had placed in me through every challenge I faced. His encouragement, his teachings, and his steadfast faith in my potential had been the driving force behind my success. Upon becoming a doctor, I knew my journey didn't end there. I realized my true calling was not only to practice medicine but also to educate others, especially young girls, about their health, bodies, and well-being, just as my father had done for me when I felt uncertain and lost. I wanted to provide others with the same courage and knowledge to navigate life with confidence. I traveled to remote villages, meeting parents and children who often felt hesitant to discuss sensitive topics such as personal health and hygiene. Initially, many listened with uncertainty, unsure how to engage in these conversations, but I knew how crucial it was to break these barriers and create safe spaces for open dialogue. Through storytelling and education, I hope to ignite change and offer hope to every community I visited. As I spoke, I would often reflect on the foundation my father had built for me. His lessons were not just about understanding biology or healthcare, they were about embracing respect, strength, and the power of knowledge. It brought immense fulfillment to be able to share these insights with others, just as my father had done for me. Looking back on my journey, I saw the depth of my father's love, courage, and resilience. In a society where such conversations were often overlooked, he chose to educate me. Where others shied away from difficult subjects, he embraced them, ensuring I could face life with dignity and strength. His decision to teach me about my body and empower me with knowledge altered the course of my life. It was more than a pursuit of medical knowledge. It was about instilling confidence to confront life's challenges, make wise decisions, and live a life full of purpose and self-assurance. His lessons were a gift that I carry with me, guiding me as I strive to inspire others, just as he inspired me. My journey, from a curious child learning on her father's porch to becoming a doctor and educator, is a testament to love, courage, and the transformative power of education. At the core of my journey remains the mantra my father often reminded me of: knowledge changes lives. It is this foundation that continues to shape my path, empowering me to make a difference, one life at a time. Thank you for taking the time to watch our videos. If you find the content useful and interesting, don't forget to like, share, and especially subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any new videos. Our channel will always update attractive, inspiring, and useful content for you. Click the bell icon to receive notifications as soon as there are new videos. Your support is the biggest motivation for us to continue to develop. Thank you and see you in the next videos.